Chicago Tonight, Latino Voices is made possible in part by CIBC.
Good evening y bienvenidos to Chicago Tonight Latino Voices. I'm Alex Hernández of Primera Hora, which airs weekday mornings on Univision Chicago. Thank you for sharing part of your weekend with us. On the show tonight, calls to change the police department's food pursuit policy following the fatal shooting of 13-year-old Adam Toledo. Community organizers hit the streets to get Latino residents vaccinated. Hear about their outreach efforts. How a Pilsen Mural is documented the neighborhood's history by featuring nearly 50 community members.
I think we're capable of a lot more than we often realize.
An entrepreneur, Ana Hernández, with La Última Palabra on creating businesses that work for women. First off tonight, Mayor Lori Lightfoot is calling on the Chicago Police Department to enact a new food pursuit policy before summer. That's following community outcry after CPD's fatal shooting of 13-year-old Adam Toledo in Little Village. Body camera footage has yet to be released as of our recording time. So some of the circumstances surrounding the shooting and fruit chase are still unknown. Right now, the department has only a training bulletin on food pursuits rather than a formal policy, which some say would have more accountability. Head of the Public Interest Legal Center, BPI, Kara Hendrickson, says community input should be gathered on the policy. Here's a clip.
It's really important in this area and in all areas that there be significant community engagement in deciding what should go in a policy. You don't just need people up here like me telling you what should be in a policy. The community knows what it needs to be safe, and the community needs to be engaged in policymaking.
Joining us to discuss the shooting of Adam Toledo and what they would like to see in a food pursuit policy are Jacqueline Herrera, Director of Violence Prevention at Enlace Chicago, a non-profit community organization in Little Village, and Baltasar Enriquez, President of Little Village Community Council. We invited also the Chicago Police Department, but they told us no one was available because the situation is under investigation by the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, better known as COPA. First, Jacqueline Herrera, thank you for being here. Before we get into it, you've been meeting with Adam's family. How is his mom doing?
Thank you for having us. Yes, as you can imagine, the family is going through a very difficult time right now. Losing a child is not an easy task to overcome, especially when you know it's in the hands of a police officer. That adds an extra layer of trauma, not just for the family, but for the community. So we are standing in solidarity with the family and their demands and holding accountable the police department, COPA, and the city of Chicago as they process this investigation.
Baltasar, how is the Little Village community also responding after Toledo's death?
Well, we're very upset. I mean, we're really upset. I wanted to use another word, but we're on TV. But we're really ticked off. We've been ignored for years. We've been marginalized. And the mayor is the problem because she keeps ignoring the community. And when we've been asking for a tape for over a week, if they have nothing to hide, why not show the tape? But they rather, again, display that we Mexicans, we brown people are not important. They'd rather go to the Gold Coast where we're going today and serve them and cater to them. And if you go to their neighborhood, it's beautiful. When you come to Little Village, we have to fight just to get a park. We have to fight just to get a school. And this is the neighborhood that pays the most taxes and revenue. And we get crumbs. We don't get a piece of that pie.
Right.
All those other neighborhoods do, except us.
Here's what Kara Hendrickson said she would expect in a food pursuit policy. Let's listen.
Instructions and guidance for officers to determine when, and importantly, when not to engage in a foot pursuit policy. And importantly, related to that, when a foot pursuit should end, when to stop the chase should be important.
Yeah, that's a very important question, definitely. Jacqueline, what's your reaction to the department having a training bulletin, but not a food pursuit policy? And what would you like to see in a food pursuit policy?
I mean, it's very obvious that it's not enough, right? We are interested in seeing who's involved, in making these policy changes. Too many times, the stakeholders that make these policies that impact our communities are not from our community, right? So we want the stakeholders, the community members, to be part of those initiatives and policy change. And the big picture here is that this policy change is just a minor portion of the bigger picture, right? And that unfortunately, Adam is not the only person that has been involved in a deadly police shooting in Little Village and across our communities. In theory, this is all theory, right? Nothing has been concrete put in place. So the fact of the matter is that suggesting these changes to the foot pursuit policy, it's been a recommendation that's been in place for over 4 years, right? So we want to make sure that we're prioritizing this with our community members.
Right. Earlier this week, Chicago Tonight also spoke with President of the Chicago Fraternal Order of Police, John Catanzara. He said a policy with complex guidelines would be ineffective in the field when officers are making split-second decisions. Here's a clip.
You pull up on a subject. By the time you rifle through in your head all the do's and don'ts of that new policy that would come out, the offender is going to be long gone. It's a joke. It makes no sense.
Jacqueline, and I want to hear both of your opinions on this. Jacqueline, what's your reaction first?
My first reaction is really exploring what their priorities are, right? When they're meeting these situations. Is it keeping us safe and alive, or is it to eliminate the threat at any cost? Right? So making sure that we are understanding what their mission is when they're doing the work on the ground, because community organizations like ours, we keep our mission and vision based on what the community is asking for. So I'm very curious to know what that works for.
And now, Baltazar, I want to get your reaction on that too.
I mean, this guy sounds like he's mad for no reason. Mm-hmm. But the policy here that we're asking is, in Little Village Community Council, we hosted an event to recruit police officers that are Spanish speakers. We are promoting that the department reflects the community it serves. Only 8% of those officers are Spanish speakers Latinos. So we're asking that those numbers go up. And how about we create our own police officers here? We showed it during the looting. The community came out, protected the neighborhood. So we know how to police ourselves. It's just that they don't promote and engage our communities on getting the resources that we need. And so the police needs to change this old-fashioned way of doing things. There's new innovative ways.
We have less than a minute, and I want to get this answer from both of you. What needs to be done now?
Well, what needs to be done is that the mayor needs to come talk to Little Village, to the residents, and bring us resources, bring us money, bring us programs. And the police department needs to sit down and talk to us and be like a family instead of being so mean and so negative. We're not a bad community. We're one of the best communities, and the families are the best.
We have less than 30 seconds.
Yes, I mean, I want to just emphasize the highlights that our community bring. We're resilient, we're full of power, and we want to make sure that we continue to highlight the good work that's being done by community residents in Little Village.
Jacqueline Herrera, Baltazar Enriquez, thank you both for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The history of school segregation in America is usually associated with the separation of black and white students. But children of Asian, Native American, and Latino origin were often segregated from their white peers in schools as well. Here's a look at a California lawsuit that opened the door to ending school segregation. Since the earliest days of COVID-19 vaccine availability, Chicago's Latino and Black communities have fought for vaccine equity. This January, the city responded to that call with the Protect Chicago Plus program, which prioritizes vaccines to the neighborhoods hit hardest by the virus. Now, community organizers are leading the charge to get their residents vaccinated. In neighborhoods like La Villita and back of the yards, outreach workers are taking a ground-up approach to registering residents for vaccinations by meeting them in grocery stores and taquerias and through text messages and social media. Joining us to talk about how they're spreading the word about the vaccines are Yadira Sanchez, Senior Manager of Community Health with Enlace Chicago, and Mayra Martinez, a youth leader with Increase the Peace and regional organizer with Journey for Justice Alliance. She's also a back of the yards resident. Mayra, I want to start with you. You're a member of the Increase the Peace Youth Asset Ambassador Program. Can you tell us what kind of outreach you've been doing?
Yes, so the kind of outreach we've been doing is honestly so amazing. We've been meeting people where they're at, right? We know that there are a lot of residents in back of the yards, and specifically the south side of Chicago, who don't have access to the internet, who may not get the information they need to receive their vaccine. So we've been going to grocery stores, walking down, 47th Street in our neighborhoods, walking down certain streets to meet people who may not have those resources and actually communicate with them and give them those needs and even register them to receive the vaccine in their local areas, or even if they're not from around the specific clinic we're at, we're still giving them as much resources that we have in their area codes.
What has been your experience, your personal experience? What has that made you feel that you can actually help the community out in this way?
Yes, so based on my experiences and the things I've seen so far as being an asset ambassador with Increase the Peace, I've seen the need in my community, and I've seen the need in, specifically Black and Brown neighborhoods who've been hit the hardest by COVID. And I see how some folks don't have access to emails. They don't have an email. They don't have a phone number even to be able to receive the information for their appointment. They don't know where to go or what clinic to go to for their area code. So as an asset ambassador, along with, the other Avengers of the Hood, as we like to call ourselves, we've been meeting them where they're at. We've been going to the grocery stores. We've been going to, the health clinics where people come to get their vaccine, because we know that people are going to go there also to register. We've also been, making calls to street vendors, making calls to, our friends and family, letting them know to contact their people in order for them to spread the news and the resources for that vaccine.
Yadira, your pandemic response team has been working from the beginning to get information out to the community. Can you tell us how you're helping people get vaccinated?
Good morning. Yes, so our pandemic response team was a team that was hired on full-time to be working with the pandemic. So it was educating our staff to know what COVID-19 looked like, what it meant, what it can appear in an individual, so that we can educate folks. And very similar to, and echoing what Mayra said, we're doing the same thing. And like you mentioned, going to the taquerias, to the grocery stores, to La Chiquita, to any of the community places, or to your local elotero, so that we can make sure that they have the education. But with that, what we've been doing is that we have been collaborating with the Protect Chicago Plus program. That is a great program that has been brought to the Little Village community so that we can help individuals get vaccinated. One of the things that we have been doing is that we have a static location that has been providing vaccines at our Harding location of Enlace, which is our main building, as well as the Esperanza Clinic Center. So they have been providing vaccinations there, typically Monday through Saturday, to all of the Little Village residents. But in addition to that, we are hosting events in the community to help individuals that couldn't get an appointment at one of those clinics to come out on a Saturday, which is on a weekend. And it could be more flexible for those folks that work all week long to come and get the vaccine. So this morning,
I'm sorry, speaking of how hard it has been for the community to get those appointments, how important has language been to get the trust of the community in this outreach? Yadira.
It has been extremely important. Usually the language and everything that it's put out by the city or with any entities, it comes out in English, but we have the benefit that our promotoras de salud, our resource navigators who are community health workers, they are bilingual and they speak the language, or they are monolingual and speak Spanish and can relate to our individuals and are able to communicate with our families and let them know the education portion, the vaccine portion. Right. We also collaborate with Dr. Susan Lopez from Rush, and she comes and does community charlas with us completely in Spanish to educate individuals on what the vaccine is, so on what this means.
Mayra, what are you hearing from the people that you're talking to in the streets? Are they eager to get the vaccine?
Yes, people are so excited to even, talk about the vaccine and actually educate themselves about what it is, how they can get it, and from where. The asset ambassadors with Increase the Peace are actually at the clinic at times where people receive their vaccine. And even when they're in line about to get it, they always ask me, how was your experience with the vaccine? I'm a little nervous. What are the side effects? What can I take to, alleviate them if I get them? And, some people even get emotional when they hear about the vaccine, because some families have been hit so hard, have had family pass away due to COVID. And, they're just so excited and sometimes, right. Get emotional at the thought of, finally getting their vaccine. I can only imagine.
Mayra Martinez, Yadira Sanchez, thank you both for joining us today and for all the great work that you're doing out in the community.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Up next, recounting a neighborhood's history with the help of a mural. Stay with us. Public art has become synonymous with Chicago's Pilsen neighborhood, and a new mural on 18th Street is using the medium to preserve the community's history and to memorialize nearly 50 of its residents. Paris Schutz has a story.
Lizette Garza's family has lived in Pilsen for 3 generations. She's a community organizer in the neighborhood. And she's one of 46 residents featured on a new mural.
There's a lot of important significance is putting down historical roots, what it means for cultural heritage.
Artists Pablo Serrano and Mateo Zapata created the 4,000 square foot painting. It's named Somos Pilsen, which means we are Pilsen.
The mural is just a quick snapshot of a community in motion, right? And part of that motion is an affirmation of the things that bring us together.
The mural is on the western side of Carnitas Don Pedro on Pilsen's 18th Street, a community staple. The late Don Pedro opened the restaurant in 1981. The Duarte family commissioned the mural, which is also in honor of Pedro. The artists say the community members speak to the variety of experiences in the neighborhood.
Being someone who grew up here for, 30 plus years, I recognize everybody on there, and I understand, the roles they play.
Marcus is Marion Sims' son, right? So Marion Sims was one of the first black families to move into Pilsen, early 60s.
Zapata says the mural is a way to solidify the community's history in the face of gentrification and displacement.
The mural is an attempt to make sure that the history from all the work that older generations have put in the neighborhood and younger generations are starting to step up to put in the neighborhood isn't erased.
Somos Pilsen features essential workers, musicians, and business owners. One community leader featured on the mural is Concepcion Rodriguez, known to many as Concha. She's lived on the same street since 1967. Rodriguez has continued her late brother's work of discouraging youth from joining gangs.
I have letters of kids writing to me, telling me that they thank me because they were able to get out of a gang because of my brother and myself.
Rodriguez is known to some Pilsen residents as the Death Lady. She visits schools and community events to talk about the dangers of joining gangs. She brings articles about young people who have died of gang violence and a coffin with a mirror inside.
For that individual to look in there and see the reflection. That if you're in a gang, this is where you're going to end up. If you're thinking about being a gang, joining a gang, don't do it.
Somos Pilsen is also an opportunity to show young people a positive representation of their community.
There's a certain level of power in controlling your own narrative. And it's been too often that immigrants are represented as criminals, whether it be in the media or whether it be by conservative politics. And it's up to us to change that.
Seeing all those individuals, seeing Angela Miller, seeing a Teresa Fraga, seeing Don Pedro up there, looking at it, I'm proud of it because these are the Latinos that have made a difference, not just in this community, but in society.
For Chicago Tonight Latino Voices, I'm Paris Schutz.
While public art is common in Pilsen, Zapata says he hopes the mural inspires other communities to leverage art to empower residents. And while the pandemic has shattered also the labor market in the last year, and it was women who suffered the most job losses. But entrepreneur Ana Hernández says perhaps this time is an opportunity for women to go into business for themselves. Here, Hernández gives us La Última Palabra on why she says women should take their ideas and aspirations off the back burner and make work that works for their lives.
My name is Ana Maria Hernández, and I'm the owner of 606 Movers, Inc. We are a residential and commercial moving company based out of Chicago. I have to admit that I was a reluctant business owner, despite having over 20 years of customer service experience and about 6 of those being in the moving industry. In such a male-dominated industry, it's not something you see every day, and we all know that if you don't see yourself reflected in those roles, it's often hard for you to imagine yourself doing them. At the end of December of 2018, I finally decided that it was something that I had to do. I needed to make an environment, a work environment that better reflected my values. In 2019, I got in touch with the Women's Business Development Center. Through that organization, I met some incredible women who were so generous to share what they've learned, their experiences. It helped me realize that a lot of the struggles are something that we all share. It was what I needed to kind of carry me through those really difficult years when you're starting a business. Then, of course, 2020 happened and the economic devastation. I read an article that in September of last year, almost 900,000 women had left the workforce. And I just remember thinking of what a crushing number that was. And that's just a fraction of what's been lost since. You know, as we go forward and we reflect on what really matters in our lives now, I think it is like a beautiful opportunity for all of women to take their ideas that they had, share them with other women, allow them to grow and develop in a way that works with their lifestyles. That may not be out there, but because it's not out there does not mean that it's not something that you can create for yourself. Just reimagine kind of a new place where we can have our businesses, where we can take care of our families, where we can meet all of our obligations in a way that better works for us women.
We actually learned about Ana Hernández's story when she contacted us after one of our monthly community conversations, and we are excited to share her message here on Latino Voices. We actually like to hear from you too. If you have a story to share, let us know on our social media or website, where you can also watch more in our Última Palabra series. Well, that's our show for this Saturday night. Be sure to check out our website, wttw.com/news, for the very latest from WTTW News. Enjoy Brandy's Friedman tomorrow night for Chicago Tonight Black Voices. A local organization aims to help more Black and Latino workers level up in the city's real estate development industry, and why Big Brothers Big Sisters of Chicago is looking for more bigs from the Black community. Also, remember to tune in to Primera Hora on Univision Chicago weekday mornings at 5 and 6. I'll be waiting for you. I will see you right back here on Latino Voices next week. Now, for all of us here at Chicago Tonight, Latino Voices, I'm Alex Hernández. Thank you for sharing part of your weekend with us. Stay healthy, stay safe. Buenas noches.
Closed captioning is made possible by Robert A. Clifford and Clifford Law Offices, a Chicago personal injury and wrongful death firm that is proud of its partners named Illinois leading lawyers by the Law Bulletin Publishing Company of Chicago.